Hey guys, I am writing out my calendar for the month of September for Kid Missing, and I thought I would pop in for a short vlog because everything that could possibly have gone wrong today has. It absolutely poured, and it's probably going to again, which is not a bad thing because, whoops, we need the rain. Just, I did laundry. And of course, my laundry didn't dry, so it's all over my house, hanging to dry. It's a disaster. I put my food in the crock pot late. I am on the second shot of uploading today's Kid Missing video, which is 2 hours late because it had an upload issue. It froze at 96% uploaded. So I had to delete it and start over. I am trying to take back management of my uncle's DNA, which I never should have lost in the first place. Don't know how I lost it. My uncle did it for me, with me managing it. Somehow my aunt, one of them, is now managing it. Don't know how that happened. She's also now managing mine. Trying to download his DNA so I can upload it to a page that can pull out the Y DNA that I can send to a relative that I'm working with. So right now, like I said, I am writing on my calendar under the dates, the Mondays and Wednesdays of the month. The shows. Oh, and that's another thing. I discovered that I lost all my posters for September. In the process of deleting things, I must have deleted it without saving it. I saved every freaking thing else in thumb drives, US memory cards and everything, but for some reason September's posters are gone. So I have to remake them. But the poster program shut down on me, so I'm going to give that thing a break. Like I said, my thing got up to 96% froze. So the video's 2 hours late. Still trying to figure out. I'm waiting for the email to download my uncle's DNA, which I can do because I'm the one that created his ancestry page, and I'm the one that signs into it. So yeah, it's a nightmare. This has been one disaster after another today. You know, we all have those days when we should have stayed in bed. Oh, believe me, this was one of them. And my foot is killing me because I messed up when I cut my toenails and a couple of days ago. So I put some bacitracin on it. By tomorrow it should be feeling better. The one I did that to is feeling better, but that one is still sore because I didn't put it on that. And by the way, in reference to the makeup video, I found my moisturizer. I can get the camera to focus on it. Why will the camera not focus on it? Ah. Dang it. Here we go. I got it. It's oil of Olay anyway. Active hydrating. I love it. I have to get some more. I got left what was left of it when my mother passed away. And I love the fact, let me clean the top off. It has a little tiny squirter. See, it'll focus on that. It smells like baby powder. Oh. But I do love it. No sponsorship here, just what I love. And that's what I was looking for yesterday, and it was right here on my desk, underneath the shelf. So yeah. Ugh. at least I got my laundry done, even if it didn't dry. And I'm having to make new posters, which I will do. I probably won't do them today. I do have 2 posters that came from other places that I'm using, so that'll help. Like I said, I am, as we are talking, writing my September cases in the calendar. And if you listen to Kid Missing Radio, you know that, oh my knee, you know that the very first case will be that of Brenda Sue Davidson, who vanished on March 4th, 1974, at the age of 13. I had her sister on. Well, the video was filmed before the interview. So, okay. Go Daytona Beach. Okay. Dog knows for your 6-year-old. For your 6-year-old and native female doe. I'll show you this after I finish writing. Okay. Oh! I keep hitting that stupid handle. And I have lost my name. Well, it can't be far away. Oh, it's right here. Excuse me. Okay, I'm gonna hang August back up, but this is September. I tentatively have it scheduled. Sometimes that can change for whatever reason. Let's take you back over here with me. Excuse my back to you. I have to hang this back on its hole. I like it where it is. It's right above the printer. Anyway, sorry about that. Like I said, everything that could possibly have gone wrong today did. Let's see. Oh, I have one for you. I had broken the lid on my laundry soap. So it was already cracked and the little pour spout was floating down inside of it. It was already a disaster, and I knew that. Well, today I finished off the disaster. I hit the bottle with basket and it hit the floor and the floor turned blue. So I had to clean the laundry room floor. Couldn't even go right today. I just had to vlog because nothing has gone right today, and it's just too funny not to. You have to laugh at yourself, you know. This will be going up along with my video about my great-grandmother. But yeah, it's been a horrible day. Everything that could go wrong on the computer has gone wrong. Everything that could go wrong. You know, I went down there knowing that there might be intermittent thunderstorms. Well, of course I forgot my change for the washers. I always do. So I came back and it was pouring. And I had to go back and forth 3 times to get stuff to clean the floor. Yikes. So I have clothes just hanging everywhere. It's horrible. But you do what you have to do. I wish I had a rack to hang them on when this happens, but I don't. We used to have one when I was a kid. It was a wooden thing. And my mother could hang the clothes in the house if she wanted. And sometimes she did, you know. And just more memories, you know? I know they still make them. I think they're plastic nowadays. But they were wood back then. And my mother's used to collapse flat, so she could put it away. Plus she had an outside line that she could use. So, and like I said, I go on, and this was a few days ago, and find, when I first started corresponding with a gentleman, hi Jonathan, who is definitely related, I went to do something with my uncle's DNA, and I discovered that my aunt, who shall remain nameless, somehow made herself the administrator. I did not. I made her a collaborator. Not the administrator, the manager. I did not. I made her a collaborator. I don't know how that happened, and I don't know how to fix it. And she did the same thing on mine. I don't know how to fix it. And I'm kind of ticked off about that. Everything else I can laugh about. That I'm not laughing about. I want control of my DNAs back. I didn't even see if she took control of my mother's. So, I'm just so freaking frustrated. Oh, and I did have a couple of bloopers. If you'll notice in my bullying video, the very end of the video was the very beginning of the video, because when I spliced the two pieces, I put that in the wrong spot and didn't realize it until I was watching the video. So I sincerely apologize. I did comment SK missing to let you know that. I also goofed up a little bit on the party one. I put pictures in like I said I would, but I didn't realize how random the picture of Bigfoot the cat was. The way I inserted it. It was super random and made no sense. The other picture was the decorations, which I'm sorry they were dark, but it was the best that I could do. Taking a picture out toward the light. And it just, I tried it in several places where the decorations were, and it just didn't work. So it was the best I had. I didn't want to add pictures of people because I don't have their permission, so. And I didn't add the rest of what I did inside the screen house, what they call the gazebo, because the lady that ended up driving me home walked in and didn't want to be on camera. So that's why that kind of cuts off abruptly there and goes to when I'm at home. Because I purposefully did that. That wasn't a boo-boo. But yeah, I've got a couple of boo-boos. And I highly recommend you watch the makeup video because it is ever-loving hilarious. I was laughing so hard I thought I was going to be in my pants. At myself. And I hope it makes other people laugh, because while my eyes were bad, I did manage to salvage them, but wow, I could not help but laugh. Because it was funny as a get out. And I forgot to link in the description, yay! Link in the description the YouTube channel I was telling you about, House of Hughes. But definitely check it out. Also check out Stephanie George, another disabled mommy vlogger. Mommy vlogger of a disabled child. I don't even know how I came across these originally. I know how I came across House of Hughes. I think I was looking up something to do with cerebral palsy, and it came up. The other ones were recommended to me based on what I don't know. Also, I have to go back, and on Joseph Hurtado's video that I edited, I have not put it up yet. It'll be the second video in September, as of now. I have to include the picture of my dad's orthopedic shoes, as promised. So, I have to remember to do that. And not to insert it. So, because I did find a really good picture of them. So, I'll actually show you because it sits right here. It's all set up to go in its frame. These are the shoes. Whoops. These are the shoes. It will focus. I think you got it. That's my daddy! I would say probably 1947, 48. It was a long time ago. Anyway. Put Daddy back here, where he goes, behind Mom. Slide him over a little bit. There we go. Now I can see them both. And I actually have success with this video. What do you know? Wow. I'm gonna finish uploading it. On this channel, what I usually do is I let the video that's going, you know, the actual video card, I let that be best for viewer, and I let YouTube decide it. Then the card, I pick a video for. So, just so you have an idea how this works, if you're not a YouTuber yourself, and then I share. And you can share right from your channel, which is really cool. Closing some tabs here. Bloop. There we go. You can share to a lot of places from your channel. I shared to my blog, where I have 250,000 people reading it, so that's awesome. I share to Pinterest, I share to Facebook, and to Twitter. And when I share to Twitter, as I mentioned in Kid Missing videos, I have 3 Twitters now, because I have the original Kid Missing one, my personal one, linked below, and I have a second Kid Missing one that I was kind of forced to create when I got this new laptop, because I couldn't sign into the other one, even though I thought it would be there, you know, because it's online, but it wasn't. So, but what I did discover was that on my iPad, all of a sudden my iPad can switch back and forth between being on my personal Twitter, Princess P1 Girl, or the Kid Missing Twitter, Kid Missing 1. So I can go to both of them as I follow the new Kid Missing, and I can retweet on both of them the episodes. I also retweet them on my mother's Twitter, because she has different people on hers than I have on mine. So, and I use hers anyway for news and stuff. So, and I believe my mail just walked in, which I didn't think I had, but thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. I cannot wait to plug the new camera once I order it. I'm waiting until next month to order it. It's not horribly expensive, but it's almost $90. With taxes, probably it's more than that. But it's a nice camera. I love the microphone on it. That was one of the things that sold me on it. And it has 2 batteries. When I had my very first camcorder, this was a VHS-C, or VHS Compact, also called Compact VHS. This was, well, VHS-C was created by JVC. They were the first camcorder to have that style of tape. And you had to put this little tape into what's called an extender, and it took the the tape and extended it out into a regular VCR tape size. I think that's part of why the, putting and putting back, I think was part of the reason that the tape, I can't think of the word, what is it called? The tape itself. I can't remember. Anyway, the brown tape didn't last as long because it kept going through that process repeatedly. So, that will damage the tape. The tape only lasts so long anyway. They're all gone now, but I wish I had kept some of them to try to put them on DVD, which I could have done by putting them in the extender and using a piece of hardware and a piece of software that I had. Still have the software, don't know where the hardware went. I have an idea, but this is me we're talking about, so one never knows. But anyway, like I said, I'm looking so forward to that. And my old VHS-C actually had 2 batteries, and it had an external charger, which was nice. So I could have one battery on the charger plugged into the wall doing its thing, and have another battery clipped to the back. These batteries go inside, but at least there's 2. So if my battery dies, I can quickly pop one out and pop one in. And I'm going to be very careful with my cards, because, and that's another thing that comes with a 32 gig card, which is amazing. So like I said, I'm excited. I think it'll work with my tripod. I know it comes with a little, I think this is the one that comes with a little, like, tabletop one, but I think it'll work with mine anyway. So, I'm very excited about it. It's in my box on Amazon. Again, I would be very careful with my little cards, because about the 3rd time I put a card in this one, the spring broke, and now I am, as I told you in a previous video, forced to use, it's here, I know it's here somewhere. It was here. It's here somewhere. But I'm forced to use a pair of tweezers, here they are, a pair of tweezers to get it out. Which, not fun. But at least it works, because I was in a panic the first time it happened. I think what happened was I put it in the wrong way, so that little bump on the side of the card pushed its way through, and then I had to flip it. I'll show you what I mean by bump on the side of the card. In case you didn't know, you can make your memory card not writable. I can show you that right here. Oh, actually, I have a card right here. If you look on the side, I don't know if this will show up, but if you look on the side right there, you see that? You see that little gray button? It's sort of showing. It's There we go. That little gray button on the side. If you push that button up and lock it. If you push that button up, see it at the bottom? If you push it up and lock it, you won't be able to record on it until you push it back down. It's like, do you remember the tab on a cassette tape? Same thing. It's the same idea as the tab that you break off on top of the cassette tape so that nobody can record over your show. Because there's nothing more frustrating than popping in your, you know, in my case, wrestling pay-per-view and finding that somebody has recorded, you know, the Jeffersons over it, just as an example, you know. And they've done this on sitcoms where, you recorded your show over my wedding and stuff like that. It's a running gag on sitcoms. And because it happens in real life. And so you just break that tab off. A CD or a DVD, someone can't really write over because you close it out when you're done writing what you want on it. You close it out. And even if you don't, it'll just go on underneath. It won't go over the top of what's already there. So that's a nice feature and a nice upgrade for DVDs and CDs that you can write. It's a nice upgrade. To not have to worry about somebody recording over your wedding. They'll just record underneath your wedding. So I also discovered with videotapes, when you label them, use the long narrow label that goes on the front of the tape. Resist the urge to use the square label that goes on top of the tape, because that label 9 times out of 10 is going to wind up on the roof of your VCR, and it's going to come out someday on top of another tape, and you're going to wonder why Ghostbusters is on top of Child's Play or whatever, as an example. Believe me, I've had it happen, and that's why my friend and I devised the idea, or the plan, that we were only going to use the skinny one on the front. Because too many times we've had the things ripped off by the VCR itself. So that's just my recommendation if you happen to use videotapes. I know they're coming back into fashion. I did buy a VCR, like I mentioned, and it didn't work. But I do know the adapter that I bought works. It's really neat. If you have something that is AV cables, but you only have HDMIs on your TV, which if you have a newer TV, you only have HDMIs on your TV. You don't have a set of AV inputs, most likely. I looked at 3 TVs in this house. None of them have AV inputs. Actually, one of them does, but I think it's in use. No, they don't. I don't know. But anyway, point being, I bought an adapter for that. What this thing does is you plug the AV cables into the VCR, the DVD player, or whatever it is, because for some reason my DVD player came with AV cables. And you plug the other end of these cables into the adapter. You plug HDMI into the adapter and plug that into the television. And it works. What I didn't realize though is you have to know whether your TV is like a 780 or a 1080p. I think most of the newer ones are 1080p, which mine turns out is. So all I had to do was switch it. And it worked. Because I tried it with the DVD player because the VCR wasn't, but the VCR ate the tape It wouldn't even eject. And I knew something was wrong because it was being sluggish about taking the tape. Never do that. I forced the tape, and I shouldn't have. And it ate the tape. Luckily for me, I know how to disassemble a VCR and rescue a tape. Because my mother was the VCR cleaner for the neighborhood. Because everybody else was afraid to take it apart and clean it. So my mother would take them apart, and she would use, a Q-tip with alcohol and just, rubbing alcohol and just clean. She did it for everybody in the neighborhood when I was a kid. My mother was the go-to person if something broke. In fact, if your TV gets struck by lightning, here's a fun one for you. I don't know that it will work on newer TVs that are like LCD, plasma, and stuff like that, because they actually have liquid inside them. The screen is actually, LCD means liquid crystal display, and plasma is another type of liquid display. So there's actually some kind of liquid inside the screen that displays the picture. So I don't know that this would work with that, but the old TVs, if they got struck by lightning, TV repairmen taught my mother, you simply take a hairdryer, a strong magnet, and you run the strong magnet across the TV, slowly pulling in, and then you use the hairdryer and hit the hairdryer and pull in from the center. It worked on multiple occasions. It worked on our TV, and my mother did it on other people's TVs in the neighborhood as well. My mother was an amazing person. She really was. She built my swing set herself, because my father was so mechanically declined it wasn't funny, and he just would get so frustrated. She built my jungle gym. I had the dome kind. She built that herself. That thing was a big pain in the ass, in my opinion, because it had all the little, it had the circles and the little bars, and I am telling you, there must have been a million of them, because this thing wasn't some assembly required, it was all assembly required. Same thing with the swing set. They started putting it together, which is never a good idea for them, because they're going to fuss and argue. And Dad went to work the next day, and she said to me, we had had breakfast, she had had her coffee and whatever, and she said to me, come on, let's go. Grab your dad's toolbox. My dad had this metal red beat up toolbox. The hook didn't really latch because it was so beat up. It was a hold. And we're gonna go out and we're gonna build your swing set. And we did. And we did the same thing with my dad. I don't think Dad did much on the jungle gym at all, if anything. I could be wrong, but I think that was mostly Mom. Mom put together anything that needed to be assembled in the house. Mom did it. Or I did it, or we did it together. That was just the way it worked in our house, because she was so good mechanically that it was just easy, and everybody would have her doing things for them. She did everybody's taxes in the neighborhood. She was amazing. She could cook or bake anything. I don't know how we got on Mom, but here we are. I like talking about Mom. Like I said, I had a horrible day, but it's improving. The video's up. Yay. I want to thank you for letting me vent my horrible day and letting me talk about Mom. I like talking about Mom, because I don't think she got enough credit in life you know, she always felt inferior, and she would tell you that, to everyone and stuff. So and she wasn't. She was far superior. That was one of the biggest fights I had with my unnamed aunt, was about what my mother knew and didn't know, and how smart she was. And I'm always going to be, you know, Team Ella, period. And, you know, I've always been the one that is the pit bull with my parents. I react, when someone does something to one of my parents, I always reacted like a mama bear, you know, mother would react when somebody did something to their child. So, and actually, Dad's nephrologist at the hospital told him he was lucky to have me. Lucky to have an advocate like me. And I appreciate that. And a nephrologist is a kidney doctor, by the way. They call it that because the nephrons are the actual part of the kidney that does the work, that does the filtering and shipping out what needs to be shipped out and shipping back to the body what needs to go back to the body. That's the nephron's job. So a kidney doctor is called a nephrologist. Just a little trivia for you. In fact, here's a little more trivia. Before he became an infectious disease specialist, Dr. House on House was a nephrologist. That was his original specialty. A little more trivia for you. Again, thank you for letting me vent my horrible day. This will go up very soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day. God bless you, and thank you again for coming on into Punky's World, where everyone is welcome. Bye-bye.